I didn't know so many of you wanted this video, so I deeply apologize. Here is the full, complete transaction from the very first day of buying a house, starting house hunting, all the way through to settlement. Step one is to talk to a lender. That is number one. You need to know what you qualify for, if you're in the position financially to actually purchase a home through a mortgage, and then also find out what program that looks like. At the same time, you can also be talking to real estate agents. So these two can happen. If you know a real estate first that you want to work with, they're going to recommend lenders to you that they've worked with, that are vetted by them, that respond to text messages and emails, that get the job done, because ultimately that is the goal, right? It's not to get you a pre-approval. It's not to take you to houses and show you houses. It's for you to sit at the settlement table and actually get keys to a home. Whatever it is, you're gonna start vetting out agents, okay? Do they work in the area that you are looking in? Have they worked with your financing program before? Or in Maryland, if you are a Maryland buyer, and you're especially a first-time home buyer and you want to use the Maryland mortgage program and do 0% down or closing cost assistance or a student loan payoff or one of those, you have to find a lender and an agent that can execute a MMP program, okay? You want an agent that's worked with MMP before, and you definitely want a lender. It has to be a lender that's affiliated with MMP. The rest of it is where they're gonna hand-hold you through the entire completed process. But essentially, here's what happens. The agent's gonna start a portal for you through their local MLS. That MLS is going to get triggered depending on your criteria. So if you say 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in a specific neighborhood, every time a house either reduces its price into that threshold for you, is freshly listed, or is coming soon in that criteria, you're gonna get an email saying, hey, a house fitting your search requirements is popping up and is going to be available. Once you've identified a couple of properties that you're actually interested in, you're going to contact your agent and say, I want to see house 1, 6, and 4. And I want you to take me out to see those. The agent is going to schedule showings to go see those houses. You guys are going to meet up and you're going to go physically to that property to see that house. Once you decide this is the house that I really, really want, then it's time to talk offers. So the agent's going to do their due diligence. They're going to do their homework. They're going to talk to the other agent and establish communication channels with the other agent. That is critical. And as a listing agent, I will tell you, so many buyer's agents don't do that step. And if you're interested in that property, your agent needs to do their freaking job and communicate with the listing agent. Then they're going to pull comps. Then they're going to talk to your lender. All those things are going to happen. They're going to strategize with you how to put in a strong competitive offer so that your offer is chosen and selected by the sellers. And then hopefully they do pick you and you're under contract. Depending on your contingencies and the things that you've worked into your contract, like if you're getting an appraisal and inspections done, over the next 7 days are when you're going to do those inspections. It could be a septic inspection, a water quality test, a water yield test, a structural and mechanical. That is the most common inspection. All the appliances, the plumbing, the HVAC, your heating systems, your electricity, the roof, the crawl space, the basement. They're going to look at all the things, right? That's the most common. So there's a whole bunch of inspections that can happen. Inspections are done. When you go under contract, you need to do an EMD in most states. Maryland, it's an EMD. Other states have an EMD and a due diligence. Maryland, it's around 1%. I would budget for about 1% of your offer price. So if it's a $300,000 house, you should prepare to put $3,000 down. That shows the listing agent and the sellers that you're serious and you're going to do everything within your power to actually go through with this deal and get to the settlement table, right? You're not going to mess around. You're not going to go buy a brand new car. You're not going to mess up your financing. You're serious, okay? Anyway, going back. So inspections happen. There's a couple repairs you need made, or maybe you want $1,000 credit for something that you're going to do later on. The fence is broken and we don't have time to fix it now, so you're going to ask for $1,000 credit, whatever. That's going to get negotiated on what we call the PIN, which is the property inspection notice here in Maryland. That's going to happen. We're going to negotiate. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to drop the price. We're going to raise the price. We're going to give you a credit. We're going to give you a home warranty. We're going to get things fixed, whatever it is. Once we're done with that, we will give the green light to lending. If they haven't already, they're going to order the appraisal. This is where their person goes out and inspects the property for you, inspects the property's overall condition and making sure that it's worth what we've contracted for it to be worth, okay? VA and FHA is a little bit more tedious. They're gonna take some measurements. They're gonna look for things like peeling paint, termite infestations, railings on things. There's a whole bunch of different things. Roofing, USDA is big on roofs, so they're gonna do all that. Once we're through inspections and the appraisal and everything's good to go, they're gonna finish up that title work. They're gonna finish up underwriting. They're gonna take the appraisal and all of your financing stuff and do a final look at that, meet with title about the taxes and any HOA fees, whatever, match those numbers up and issue an ALTA closures. Here's all the fees, here's what you're paying, here's your monthly payment, all that. We're gonna get the final clear to close saying this file is wrapped up and ready to go. And then we're gonna do our final walkthrough. We're gonna go back out to the house and make sure everything is repaired and everything is as it was at the time of the offer. And that's a Maryland thing, is it's supposed to be broom swept, clear of debris, and in the condition it was the time the offer was made, unless you've negotiated otherwise. Once everything's ready to go, Maryland is a wet sign state, meaning that you have to sign documents in person with your ID proving that it's you. We have a lower fraud rate because of that. You will meet with your agent, or maybe you'll sign abroad with a notary. Those documents come together, funds are transferred, and at the settlement table, you get keys, and that is your house. It is a done deal. You can go move in literally after you leave the settlement office. You're on your way to your new property. And there's the list. Hope that helps.